Yo, 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 yo. What's up, TreyTD23 back and go with another video. Going to be talking about the second round matchups, my predictions, what's going to happen, all of the, talk about the injuries, how that can affect the games, how it can affect the series. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm going to start off with the 1-4 matchups. I'm going to start with the Phoenix Suns going up against the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm going to talk about the Miami Heat versus the Philadelphia 76ers. So, with the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because Jimmy Butler's going to be out. Well, he might not be out, but he had like I don't know, something has to do with his knee. Kyle Lowry with that hamstring injury, and then Embiid with a couple injuries. He's got a concussion, got that orbital fracture in his right eye, I think it was, and he's got the torn ligament in his shooting hand, in his shooting thumb. So Embiid is out indefinitely, but they said he's not going to be out for the entire series, which is a good thing. But it's going to be tough because the Miami Heat are a really, really good team, and I don't know. The James Harden that we got against the Toronto Raptors in Game 6, if the 76ers get him for this series, that's going to be trouble for the Miami Heat. But if they get the regular James Harden, the James Harden that hasn't really been doing anything, this playoffs, it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough for them because they need the scoring. They need the playmaking. Tyrese Maxey can do scoring. They need a lot of playmaking. They need some shot making. Matisse Thybulle really cannot play in this series. Matisse Thybulle can really not play because he can't shoot no free throws. He can't shoot no threes. And if they foul him, he's going to go to the free throw line. He's going to miss. They leave him open because once Joel Embiid gets that ball in the post or gets that ball in the paint, they're going to throw a double team, and it's going to be Matisse Thybulle's defender. And then Matisse is going to be wide open, and he'll hit a shot every 4 or 5 shots, which is not what you want from a player that plays alongside Joel Embiid. And James Harden, Joel Embiid just sometimes needs a break of running the offense because he is touching the ball 99% of the time, and James Harden needs to. I get he probably is not the player he was in Houston or last year in Brooklyn, but just give us a little. Give the Philadelphia 76ers 25-10. Not even 30-10. Give them 25-10. And let Joel Embiid do everything else. And Tobias Harris, he's been playing. He's been playing all right. He's not been scoring, but he's really been playing really good. I've really enjoyed watching the Philadelphia 76ers play, except Game 4 or 5. I'm going to talk about the Suns versus the Dallas Mavericks. The first time Dallas Mavericks have advanced into the second round since 2011, the year they won a championship. Oh, man, it's tough. I got Suns. I got Heat in 6. I'm going to say that. I got Heat in 6 just because that defense, man. That defense is crazy. But the Suns Mavericks, it's going to be tough because DeAndre Ayton, he's not as good of a defender as Rudy Gobert. He's not as he's a way better offensive player. He's not too bad defensively. He just needs to grab more rebounds, and he's going to have to stick on to Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber. And then when he gets switched on to Luka, because they're going to be running that, because Mikal Bridges is probably going to be guarding Luka. They're going to run pick and rolls to get Chris Paul on him, to get possibly even Devin Booker on him, to get DeAndre Ayton on him, get Cam Payne on him when he's in the game. So they're going to have to run a lot of defense, forcing Luka to stop Luka, and really let Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson. But even then, they can toss Chris Paul and Jalen Brunson, Devin Booker on Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges on Luka. All three are decent to good to great defenders. Mikal Bridges, Chris Paul. Well, Mikal Bridges is a great defender. Chris Paul is a smart defender, and Devin Booker has just become a pretty good defender. And then DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder, they're going to have to defend Dorian Finney-Smith and Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, Davis Bertans. But I think the Suns, with how good they are defensively, if they do run into trouble with DeAndre Ayton, they have a JaVale McGee, they have a Bismack Biyombo, they got a Cam Johnson. So they got some players that can definitely switch off they can definitely switch off, and they can actually play pretty good defense against Luka. But the big thing about the Dallas Mavericks is they need Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie to play the way that they played against the Utah Jazz to play in the Sun series. Because without them, I don't know how. I don't think they win that series if Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson are not what they were in Utah. I guess Spencer Dinwiddie wasn't the greatest, but you definitely want Jalen Brunson to be the player that he was in the Utah series. So I got Suns in 6. I got this series going 6 as well, just because Luka, Jalen Brunson, and Spencer Dinwiddie, they will give him 2 games. And I think Davis Bertans, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell can all possibly go off for a big game. Oh, man. Sorry. All right, the next 2 series. Golden State Warriors, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. I'm going to start off with the Golden State Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies. So, this is going to be an interesting series because last year in the play-in, the Grizzlies beat the Warriors. But again, Jordan Poole was not Jordan Poole. Steph Curry was not the Steph Curry so far this year. Draymond Green was not Draymond Green. They didn't have Klay Thompson, didn't have Otto Porter Jr., didn't have Gary Payton II, didn't have Nemanja Bjelica, didn't have a lot of those, quite a few of those guys, and Andrew Wiggins was not the all-star that he was this year. Again, Wiggins has not been amazing since the All-Star break, but it happens. He's struggling a little bit. I think he's going to get it going, and this is his first real playoff experience, because when he made it in 2018, they lost, I think, 5 against the Houston Rockets, so it really wasn't anything. So this is his first real playoff experience, and hopefully he can do what he's got. He's going to have to play because Desmond Bane, Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., they have a bunch of guys that they can throw at Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole. Jaren Jackson's probably going to run a lot of 5 unless it's Kevon Looney versus Steven Adams. And then Draymond Green and Jaren Jackson Jr., Dillon Brooks on Steph Curry, Desmond Bane on Jordan Poole, and probably John Morant on Klay Thompson. Probably not even that. Who's John Morant going to guard? Probably Curry? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who John Morant guards. But they're going to have to throw someone on John Morant, and John Morant's going to get to the cup. I think this is going to be a series where John Morant gets a lot of dunks. A lot of dunks. They got Draymond Green, who's not really a paint protector. He's just a really, really smart defender, and he can also defend around the perimeter. Can he defend? Can he rim protect? Yeah, he can rim protect a little bit, but he's not Bam Adebayo, Rudy Gobert, players like that. He's a very smart, great help defender and great perimeter defender. Played great defense against Jokic. But I think John Morant's going to do what John Morant needs to do. But I think just the experience, man, just the experience for this Golden State Warriors team is really going to help them go over the Grizzlies. I got Warriors in 7. I love this Grizzlies team, but that experience from the Golden State Warriors, it's going to be tough. Steph Curry is going to go off. Jordan Poole has showed that the playoffs is him. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, Otto Porter Jr., Gary Payton II. They got a lot of players that can hoop in the playoffs. So I got Warriors in 7. And, yeah. So the last series that I'm going to talk about is the Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, everyone knows Chris Middleton is completely out for the second round. Completely out. Unless they somehow upgrade him to available for game 5, game 6. It's Chris Middleton's done. Chris Middleton's done for the series. I'm not sure about the conference finals if the Milwaukee Bucks even make it. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown versus Giannis, Drew Holiday. Now this is going to be one of the better series. This series comes on at 12 at noon tomorrow. It's going to be a great game, great series. Now the Boston Celtics defense is not going to be able to do what they did against Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant used to be able to just pull up from that little mid-range and just shoot over anyone. Jason Tatum was blocking that. Al Horford, Daniel Tice, Grant Williams, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, they were all just stripping the ball making Kevin Durant really uncomfortable. And Kevin Durant's really not a physical player, but it's going to be tough to stop Giannis. Giannis, he gets to the paint a lot. And he's a physical player. People say, oh, he wouldn't last in the 80s. Bull crap. 80s, 90s, Giannis is dominating just as much as he's dominating now. He's dominating back then because he's a big, strong, physical, 7-foot dominant player. He's the most dominant player since Shaq. In the paint. But yeah, it's gonna be tough because Brook Lopez, Grayson Allen, Bobby Portis, they all showed they can win you a series. Grayson Allen, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, all those guys, they beat the Bulls. If it wasn't for them going, Grayson Allen turning into prime Larry Bird, prime Klay Thompson, Bobby Portis being the player that he was last year in the finals, and Brook Lopez turning into prime Hakeem, I don't know how good the Bucks do. Giannis was doing his thing, and I have no doubt Giannis would have went crazy, but it would have been tough for him to do anything that he would normally do because we were locked in trying to stop him, which was leaving Grayson Allen open, Brook Lopez open, Bobby Portis open. Jrue Holiday started hitting his shots once Middleton went down, so if Giannis is the only one doing anything and no one else is hitting shots, we can focus on just Giannis. Not necessarily leave Grayson Allen open. Do some rotations, do some schemes, everything like that, just to make sure we can get a hand up on him. But we don't have to worry about the others beating us. But we let the others beat us, and that's really what killed us. And the Milwaukee Bucks was just a better team than the Chicago Bulls. It is what it is. I'm not disappointed. I'm a little sad because I'm not gonna be able to watch the Bulls until next year. But it was a successful season for us. We made the playoffs, is what we wanted to do. I didn't want to talk about teams that got eliminated, but here I am talking about the Bulls. But yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks, they have the best player in the series. And then I'd say they had the Celtics have the next two best players, so they got two of the top three. If Middleton was playing, it'd be 2-2. I think it'd be Giannis, Tatum, Brown, Middleton. I think that's how it would be, and then Jrue Holiday and everything like that. But this Celtics team's great defensive team too. Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday, Grayson Allen's a good defender. Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, Giannis, Brook Lopez. Who else do they play? I didn't even watch like the last two to three games that the Bulls played because they were just getting their butts kicked, so I didn't even feel like watching. George Hill really hasn't even played. But the Celtics, they got Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Daniel Tice, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, who's going to be back. Oh, man. It's going to be tough for the Milwaukee Bucks. I got this series also going 7. And I'm going to give it to the Boston Celtics. They got home court advantage. They completely swept and beat the brakes off of the Brooklyn Nets. I don't see why they couldn't do that to the Milwaukee Bucks. I got Boston in 7. I got Boston winning in 7. And who knows? Maybe they surprise us and somehow sweep the defending champions. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I'm going to make a video right quick talking about the Utah Jazz. And hint, hint, they got to blow it up. Blow it up. If you're not going to build around Donovan Mitchell, trade him, trade Rudy Gobert, trade Mike Conley if you can, Bogdanovich, Clarkson, everything. But if you're going to build around Donovan Mitchell to win, trade everything else that you can to get whatever you can. If you guys like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Peace.